This episode is sponsored by Full Sail University. If you want a career in sports, check out the link below. Talent at the quarterback position comes in many distinct styles. Come NFL draft season, there isn't one particular prototype that teams can rely on year in and year out. Sure, there are freak talents like Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson who possess every physical measurable you could ask for, but there will always be major question marks how their styles will translate to the NFL. Hell, for every one of them, there's an RG3, quarterbacks who just can't seem to adapt their game from college to the pros. So why not draft the quarterback with the most translatable game, Joe Burrow, who looks as day one ready as any of them since, really, Andrew Luck. We all know about his 2019 Heisman season where he threw for an NCAA record 60 touchdowns and only tossed 6 interceptions, 5,671 passing yards, and of course brought a national championship to the city of Baton Rouge. Burrow doesn't possess that elite arm strength or devastating mobility, but what he does have are qualities that prepare him to succeed day one, fresh out of the package. He excels at pre- and post-snap defensive recognition, shows exceptional poise in high-intensity situations, and a conceptual mastery of LSU's offensive system. That system is a fascinating one to study. LSU's passing attack was modeled after the New Orleans Saints system itself. After Joe Brady was an assistant in New Orleans for 2 seasons, he became LSU's offensive coordinator and blended bits and pieces of the Saints' West Coast offense with modern college concepts. One of LSU's deadliest concepts is called doubles, which can be found in every West Coast offensive playbook, whether you're Sean Payton, Andy Reid, or Brian Billick in 1994. The concept has been around for decades, and it's tailor-made for Burrow's strengths. He is deadly accurate on 30 to 45-yard fade routes outside the numbers, and his accuracy on in-breaking crossing routes is absolutely impeccable. He can anticipate the in-breaking dig route come free behind the linebacker, but in front of the safety, and his rhythm and timing make every one of the receivers in this concept viable threats. That's why LSU called doubles over and over again. The first iteration was run out of a 2x2 set from shotgun. Each receiver runs a fade route releasing outside of the cornerbacks. By running tight to the sideline, this stretches the safeties sitting in the middle of the field, creates clear one-on-one matchups outside, and helps clearly define how Burrow will read the defense. Why has doubles been in playbooks for decades? The slot receiver, which for LSU was usually Justin Jefferson, is the linchpin for the entire concept's success. It can adapt to defeat whatever style of coverage the defense calls. Jefferson's route is called a middle read, which is a dig route that has the option to turn into a post based on the coverage. He is reading the deep safety, and based off his positioning, will pretty much do the opposite. Let's say the defense plays a traditional cover 2 zone with the 2 safeties covering deep halves of the field. Since this leaves the middle of the field open, Jefferson's route converts from a dig to a post to split the coverage. If they're playing cover 3 zone, like they are here, one deep safety will sit in the middle of the field closing off that hole. So Jefferson will read his leverage, break off his route, and run a 10 to 12 yard dig to the open space. That safety has to respect the stem of Jefferson's route. When he comes off the line, the safety sees him going vertical, so he drops into his back pedal. The tight end runs a short crossing route that's designed to suck up the linebackers, and that's something important we'll get to in a bit. The defense is playing cover 3 sky, which is cover 3 zone, and sky just tells the other safety to come underneath to the flat. Jefferson recognizes the safety in the middle of the field, so he cuts inside on a dig away from his movement. Him and Burrow have to be on the exact same page and read the coverage with one set of eyes while the play is happening. When the tight end releases underneath, the weak side linebacker gains depth in his zone, so the ball has to be thrown with touch. Soft enough to loft over that backer, but hard enough to drive it in front of the closing safety. If Burrow and Jefferson read this play differently at any point, this could be an easy interception. The end zone angle gives another vantage point for just how good this throw really is. Burrow is is reading the safety the entire way and sees him rotate deep and towards the middle of the field. He has to simultaneously read whether or not Jefferson is breaking off his route while identifying that the linebacker isn't dropping deep enough to where the route will come open. Burrow's accuracy is evident on just about every pass I charted, and he consistently places the ball to the upfield shoulder away from the defender so the receiver can maximize yards after the catch. Doubles is such a versatile concept, LSU could call it for an entire game every play. Since the middle read varies based on the coverage and the outside receivers are consistently one-on-one outside, the concept can win against any type of defense. This is the very next play. LSU is still in their 2x2 formation with Jefferson to the left. Alabama calls a fire zone blitz, 5 blitzing defenders with a 3-deep zone coverage behind it, but since the free safety just got whooped like 1 second ago, he's going to shade towards Jefferson to blanket that middle read and not rotate as deep to the middle as he often does. Usually, when Burrow reads that deep safety overplaying the slot, or just generally isn't getting width outside to either vertical, it's bombs away. He'll throw to the deep receiver away from the safety rotation, knowing he has more space down the field. He has to trust his pre and post snap read because the blitzing linebacker is all over him. As he's dropping, he's reading that safety shade towards Jefferson and sees the linebacker in his face. By the time he hits the top of his 2-step drop, he is already preparing to throw the fade to his receiver outside, who he knows has that one-on-one matchup. As he starts to load up, he's planning his throw. If his receiver has the corner beat, you loft the ball deep and over his outside shoulder. If the corner is even or has stacked the receiver, you throw back shoulder away from the defender. The fade route in doubles is a route Burrow hit again and again. Burrow's athleticism isn't elite, but his abilities to extend dead plays and find open receivers down the field or run for chunk yardage make him difficult to defend. Later in the game, LSU tweaked the concept to optimize the success of the play. The change stretched the defense just a little bit more and was an adjustment they stuck with the rest of the season. The tweak was to move the tight end across the formation. Instead of a 2x2 set, they now are in 3x1. This puts the backside defender in conflict where it didn't before. It forces him to quickly decide if he will cover Jefferson's dig or leave the tight end shallow cross wide open. Regardless of what he does, he's wrong. However, when Burrow hits his 3rd step, Alabama gets immediate pressure so he can't come back to his wide open receiver. The play breaks down, but Burrow doesn't panic. He shows his athleticism within the pocket, which creates plays outside of it. Maneuvering the pocket and sensing pressure is a key element to quarterback play. A sack during any drive, any down and distance, has massive repercussions on the offense's ability to score and often results in a punt. It is common to see Burrow dance through tackles or put defenders through the spin cycle, then roll out and scramble 20 yards or heave a 35-yard bomb down the field. He doesn't panic during the down when he's rolling out to make a play, or when he's walking to the huddle in the biggest moments of the game. It's not always physical measurables that define a quarterback. In fact, it often isn't. It's composure in those big moments. The poise, the mental toughness. Do your bombs get a little sweaty in the 4th quarter, or are you ready to drop back and shred the defense? 3rd down is the money down. We all know that. In the national championship against Clemson, every play, especially 3rd downs, are magnified and scrutinized. On 3rd and 5 with 1:11 left in the half and LSU winning 21-17, this looks like a simple throw. But Burrow's pre-snap understanding of the defensive structure and situational awareness are what he leverages to expose Clemson's defense. There are a couple things he's looking at before he snaps the ball. He has 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left, and one of those is a running back. Depending on who covers that running back tips off Burrow whether it's man or zone. Since free safety Nolan Turner follows him outside, it's probably man. When Burrow looks to the 3 receiver side, he sees 2 defenders playing what appears to be man coverage with a safety over the 3rd receiver. But that safety is 12 yards off the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 5, not 3rd and 10. If Jefferson sight adjusts and just runs a little 5-yard sit-down route, it's an easy first down. But that's too easy, so Burrow knows something is up. This gives us a better idea of what he's looking at. He knows the Clemson defense loves to bring crazy blitzes from all over the field. With 6 in the box and only 5 linemen in protection, Burrow has to be prepared for an all-out blitz, as well as any of these defenders dropping to cover Jefferson. However, he knows he has enough blockers. Because of how deep the safety is, one of these three have to cover the receiver, which is an immediate speed disadvantage. The most logical option is hybrid linebacker, defensive back Isaiah Simmons showing blitz, then sprinting out to cover Jefferson. But that is a long way to go, especially if Jefferson runs a quick out route. Linebacker James Skalski or defensive end Justin Foster could drop back since they're closer, but they're a complete and utter speed mismatch for Jefferson. LSU audibles to a whip route, which works against an inside leverage defender, but takes a little bit of time to come open. Clemson runs a stunt with Simmons in the backside box defender and drops Skalski in coverage. Burrow sees Simmons coming, so he needs to get the ball out quick. Simmons comes free, so Burrow needs to maneuver in space while keeping his eyes downfield. He makes an off-platform throw to Jefferson, who is able to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive. Burrow understood the defense's pre-snap alignment and what it meant within the context of 3rd and 5. He understood the box count of the defenders, who was likely to blitz, how they were going to protect against that blitz, when and where Jefferson would come open, and who was covering him. He made an off-platform throw to the upfield shoulder to maximize yards after the catch, which isn't easy when you're out of rhythm and with the drive on the line. Burrow rose to the occasion many times in high-pressure situations throughout the season. Going back to the Alabama game, a matchup LSU hadn't won since 2011, we can look at a 3rd and 3, 12:41 remaining in the fourth quarter as another example. LSU is clinging to a 33-27 lead and trying to extend a drive to hold off a Bama comeback. When you're scouting a college prospect and NFL concepts are popping up right and left, it becomes much easier to envision success on Sundays. One of the reasons Burrow is such a comfortable evaluation is because of his ability within LSU's mainly pro-style offense. This is the play that I recognize from Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan's playbook, and is one that I broke down in my Super Bowl episode, which I'll link down below. There are two different concepts on this play. To the right is what Shanahan calls his CO concept, which stands for a corner and an out route. On the left is his arches concept, which can be tagged in many different ways, but will always have one receiver run a slant route followed by an option route that usually breaks inside behind him. Just like how the Chiefs defended this concept in the Super Bowl, Alabama has one defender in man coverage no matter what, while the other two defenders play he has the first in breaking route and he has the first out breaking route type of coverage, which is known as a traffic check. Since the option route to the left takes time to develop, Burrow starts to his right, hoping to hit the quick out to convert the first down. He's keying number 15, who the offense is trying to vertically stretch. If he sinks for the corner route, the receiver is wide open on the out. Since he doesn't bite, Burrow comes back to his left. The inside and outside receivers switch release to confuse the defense. The outside receiver runs a slant inside. Since the defense is playing an in and out coverage, the corner inside waits for the slant, but the outside corner has to maneuver the fade and stay on top of the option route. This gives the receiver a two-way go with plenty of space to work. As he breaks inside, the pocket collapses and gives Burrow only a tiny bit of room to operate. He comes back to the option route and hits his receiver perfectly in stride to pick up the first down. This is a play most NFL quarterbacks just cannot make. It takes incredible spatial awareness within the pocket while keeping your eyes downfield and actually reading the defense. I mean, just look at how small the space becomes and the throw that he is able to make. Sure, there are a couple of negatives for Burrow for a college prospect. He's a little bit older at 23. He's only really had one good season and started just 2. And if he goes to Cincinnati, that franchise hasn't exactly proven to be a breeding ground for great quarterback talent. But Burrow checks the rest of the boxes and is developed at critical areas for playing quarterback. He identifies defensive tendencies and structures before and after the snap at high levels. He is cool, calm, and collected in the highest pressure situations college football has to offer, and he already has proven he is mastering NFL concepts that, if Zach Taylor doesn't feature, well, he's just crazy. With so many translatable skills, Joe Burrow is ready to make whoever drafts him instantly better, no matter where he goes. If sports are your passion and your dream is to make a career out of it, I want to talk to you about Full Sail University. Full Sail University offers multiple degrees to help you build the skills you'll need to break into the sports industry. In Full Sail's Sports Marketing and Media Bachelor's program, you learn to create content, design marketing campaigns, and understand the business of sports inside and out. In Full Sail University's Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting, you'll earn a bachelor's in sportscasting by getting hands-on experience in all areas of production: on camera, behind the camera, podcasting, radio, interviewing, and everything in between. Both degrees are available online or at Full Sail's campus in Orlando, Florida, and at Full Sail, you can earn your degree in about half the time, as short as 20 months. To learn more about Full Sail University's degree in sports, go to fullsail.edu/AlexRollinsNFL. All right, until next Saturday, see ya!